in a hammerhead. If you're not controlling it just perfectly, it wants to spin out of it, and you might end up in a flat. It'll ruin your afternoon. All right, straight back up into the sky. Luke Penner, point rolling the aircraft. You can see that this is a very powerful airplane as he continues to point roll, and there he runs out of airspeed, and he just kicks in that rudder again, and over he goes in the beautifully executed hammerhead. Luke has over 13,000 hours of flying across over 100 types of aircraft, and he's performed over 2,500 hours of aerobatic flying. Luke's track record over the last 10 years is impressive, consistently reaching the podium in aerobatic championships and earning multiple titles as the Canadian national champion. And you see him performing these incredible maneuvers, and you can see exactly why he is our national champion. Look at the incredible roll rate of the Extra 330 SC, over 420 degrees per second. Gosh, I don't know how to keep things straight. I'd be looking at my lunch right now as he chooses the 45-degree down line, snap rolling the airplane just once. Look at how crisp he keeps those maneuvers. Brittany, I was mentioning earlier that you were a judge in aerobatic competitions, and what are they actually looking for when they perform these maneuvers?
So competition flying is very similar to that of figure skating, where you look at every angle and every maneuver, and they are all calculated out. It's called Arresti symbols, and they're in a sequence. So as judges, you sit on lawn chairs and you will watch the aerobatic box. So for example, Luke is coming through right now. He is drawing a line 45 degrees, pitching up right now. You want to make sure that is completely vertical as he goes back into a 45. Looks like he is doing figure 8 right now, the stop sign in the sky. So as a judge, you want to make sure every single one of those lines is approximately the same exact length. And then what you do is you put your thumb up in the sky and you make sure it is a round circle and it's not smushed on one side or the other. And that is how you judge every single maneuver. And what happens is you start at 10 and you start working your way back. And of course you want to avoid what we call hard zeros.
Absolutely. And Brittany, I gotta say, I'm really impressed that you're integrating the Ken Hildebrand vernacular into your descriptions. Smushed was a word I used yesterday, and we're going to continue to use it this weekend, I think.
I think our virtual online friends should hashtag smooshed.
Smooshed, that's right. I love it. All right, folks, believe it or not, Luke Penner is only halfway done. If I had been performing those maneuvers in the last 4-minute time slot, I would be exhausted, absolutely exhausted. Tremendous pressures on the body as you go from positive G's to negative G's, sometimes within seconds of each other. You really need to learn how to control the G-forces by squeezing your legs, crunching down, and making sure that the blood flow keeps going to your head or doesn't escape your brain too much as you go through these aerobatic maneuvers. All right, lots of airspeed as he goes up and snap rolling the airplane, not once, not twice, 3 times, 4 times at the top of that loop. What an incredible avalanche loop. Once again, a Barnstormers loop with a series of snap rolls thrown in for fun at the top of it. All right, looking at that perfect vertical line over the top, and now he's just going to kick the rudder, and now he somersaults across the sky. Luke Penner in the Extra 330 SC. This is a German-designed aerobatic aircraft along the same lines as the Edge 540. The Russians, who were tired of losing aerobatic contests, they contacted the fighter jet designers like Sukhoi and Yakovlev, and they came up with the Yak-55 as well as the Su-26, all with one thing in mind, and that is winning aerobatic contests. All right, Luke Penner, straight up into that beautiful Ontario sky that we've got, slow rolling the airplane on the vertical line. all the way through 360 degrees. He's got to end that roll before he gets to the top. Now he turns it into a helicopter. The torque of the engine spinning the aircraft as he slips back down through his own smoke. Again, we call this maneuver the torque roll. He's not done yet. He throws in that extra little step roll at the top. Now, Brittany, we were talking about competition aerobatics. We've got a variety of different categories. We're looking at unlimited aerobatics. Talk a little bit about that.
So we have a number of different categories to level up, just like many different sports. So you have primary, sportsman, intermediate, advanced, and unlimited, which is the top of the top, the very best of the best. And Luke has placed award-winning titles in each of those categories, continuing to work on the precision flying. And in fact, in 2022, he was named captain of the Team Canada after finishing first overall at the 2000 Canadian Nationals. And this is the flying. Now, if you're interested in it, the International Aerobatic Club, IAC, is where you can go to learn more about being a part of aerobatics, competition flying, and or volunteering to work as a judge, assistant judge, or even recorder.
We're going to see another airplane in our airshow performance in a little bit, flown by Trevor Rafferty, known as the Kristen Eagle. The Kristen Eagle is a biplane, and it's largely used in the beginner categories as well as the advanced and intermediate levels. Now, at the hands of someone like Trevor Rafferty, who's also used to doing unlimited aerobatics, he's going to be able to push that airplane through a variety of incredible aerobatic maneuvers. Brittany, I was talking about the roll rate of this airplane. It has 360 horsepower.
Yes, it does.
Under the cowl. That is
really easy, and I can tell you, friends, I tried that. I went up in a similar aircraft, the extra NG, and the instructor's like, what do you want to do? And I said, I get to talk about all these maneuvers, but I really want to try. So I went in and I just tried to do a point roll like that. And I was like, I've got this. I have the stick, and I hit it to the left, and I brought it back, and I was all over the place. They make it look so easy, but they truly are athletes. This is something they practice. It's the muscle memory, and every time I giggle thinking, I thought that was so easy. It's not.
There's a lot of working up to the airshow performances that you see here, not only in terms of flight experience and going through the different categories of aerobatic competition, it's also working your body up so that you can withstand all of these G-forces, both negative and positive. This airplane, by the way, is strengthened to withstand both plus and negative 10 Gs. That is actually getting to the limit as to what any pilot could possibly withstand in the cockpit of an airplane like that one. Well, folks, what did you think of Luke Penner in the extra 330? Well, you know, an airshow day wouldn't go by without a KFF, or a Ken Fun Fact. So, folks, brace yourself, because here comes a Ken Fun Fact. Brittany, do you know what the SC stands for in extra 330?
Do you want me to actually give the answer? No, Ken,
Well,
I don't.
No, if you know the answer, I don't have to mansplain it to you. Just
Tell us, Ken, what does it mean?
It means single seat competition aerobatics. I am so proud that I actually know that.
That is a good fun fact.
Not to mention that I read the notes. There you have it. More useless KFFs coming your way as we continue with the Canadian International Air Show 2025. Brittany and I are having a grand time. I hope you're having a grand time. Brittany, there's another kind of air show happening over there at the Billy Bishop Airport. You want to tell us what's going on there?
They're working, Ken. They are working. But actually, as our passenger planes take off, because business is happening, we have work to do, we can't completely shut down everything. They actually give the passengers a heads up that they are abruptly going to be turning to not interject our aerobatic box here, and we can keep everything safe. I've been trying to talk to them to say, can you ask the passengers on the right-hand side to take photos and videos of all of us, and then share our social media handle, yes, Toronto, and hashtag us, because what a point of view. I would be freaking out if I was in there and say, put me back. I want to go back.
You were just looking at a live shot as another of our Porter Airlines Q400 landed in the Billy Bishop Airport. That's right, as Brittany mentioned, we don't want our air show performers mixing with the commercial air traffic. We're in what we're called a restricted time period here. So all of our performers have to keep things very, very tight in front of us. If you look very, very closely, there's some orange buoys out there on the water. That is the do not cross line. So none of our performers can cross that line heading towards Billy Bishop. And the same rule applies to those Porter Airlines and Air Canada Jazz airliners. They don't want to cross that line either. And that's why you see that very abrupt turn to the left soon after their takeoff.
And look at this. If you're looking on the big screen and joining us right now, we have some, what is it, hawks? I think they're hawks. No, falcons. It's on his shirt. I'm super smart. They are falcons, and what an experience. If you're here in person, go check them out. It's Maryland Bell Park. That's where we are right now, and wow, that is fascinating. I love this. We get our own personal TV show, and we're talking to our audience. So a great way to experience the air show from every aspect, as we are taking just an intermission right now. So rehydrate. Also reapply the sunscreen. We've been doing the same thing up here, enjoying the sun and the air show. And again, a special thank you to all of our incredible sponsors and volunteers who have really put this together. They were working so hard the last few days, and now we finally get to enjoy the moment with all of you.
You want one more KFF?
Yes.
Of course you do.
Yes.
You paused. You paused, Brittany. I can't guarantee that I'm going to pronounce your last name correctly.
That's true.
Those birds that we were looking at?
The falcons.
The falcons. You want to know what their official aviation designation is?
What is that?
B1RDs. Okay, that was a bad one.
And look at this on the big screen right now. We have our F-35 demo team. Again, they have the black tent. Go over there, pick up your swag. They told me they have multiple different colored t-shirts. I have a couple of them, but it looks like they still have some swag there. Also, it's a great way to ask questions of the team, get some autographs with them too, because they're getting geared up to take to the skies. We're going to see the F-35 right around 2:30 this afternoon. Now, I will say too, later on when we have the F-35, it's going to get loud. So it is a great time right now. If you have ear protection, to have that ready, we'll give you a warning. Don't worry if you're joining us online. But if you don't have it, they're actually built in. Did you know this? You have built-in ear protection. Just plug your fingers in your ears. That's all you have to do.
That, my friends, is a BFF. A Brittany fun fact.
You can't make this up.
You can't. You cannot absolutely make this up.
Again, to all of those joining us online, thank you for joining the live stream. Please check in with us. We hope you're enjoying all of the incredible footage and capturing this air show. If you can't be here, and I know we have some locals here too, that they have been with me for years, and due to family circumstances and other things or work, they weren't able to come, but we're so glad that we can be with all of you live and bring you the show.
And I know there's some airshow fans out there who do not like to miss a single airshow, especially at your favorite
No, I don't know why.
And if you're attending by live stream because you couldn't be here in person, we count that as you actually being at the airshow.
Battery.
Coming up in a little bit on our Airshow program, we have a little bit of a break, as Brittany alluded to. We'll thank a few more sponsors in just a second, but we've got Trevor Rafferty getting into his Kristen Eagle, and then we're going to go back in time to look at the early days of pilot training in the Royal Canadian Air Force and the Cornell. And then we're going to go right into the future, the present and the future with the F-35, and then, of course, your Canadian Forces Snowbirds.
I want to say a special thank you to the Royal Canadian Navy. We thank them for the support they provided to the Canadian International Airshow. The Royal Canadian Navy is always ready to respond and lead missions when called to assist by the Government of Canada. Among the Navy's domestic and international missions are humanitarian assistance and disaster relief efforts, search and rescue, Arctic sovereignty, and combat operations in defense of Canada, its national interests, partners, and allies. The RCN maintains its relationship and readiness with the City of Toronto through Her Majesty's Canadian Ship York, a Naval Reserve Division located in the heart of Toronto. York's 350-plus sailors support the Navy's efforts of connecting with Canadians through a diverse presence in the Greater Toronto Area and at community events such as the Canadian International Airshow. Again, thank you to all of the sponsors. We could not do it without all of you, our volunteers, and of course, our air show fans. We appreciate you being here. We are already seeing your posts come through, your stories, your reels, and there are some really cool photos that our fans are capturing. I am jealous, and I'm gonna reshare them.
Well, Brittany, I've had the opportunity to work with you a couple of times now at air shows across North America. We got to know each other a couple of years ago here at CIAS, and we built a good, solid friendship. We even dare call ourselves each other's brother from another mother, sister from a different Mista.
You literally are like my big brother. You can see it on the live
you're
stream.
kind of like one of my many younger sisters, and I enjoy that so much. But Brittany, I think we need to take our friendship to a deeper level.
I agree. It's about time.
I think we should get a little more philosophical. We don't always get to do that. So I ask, are you willing to play a little game with me so that we can get to know each other a little bit more?
As we have this intermission, you bet. Let's play.
Okay, let's play a game with Brittany Pygis. Here we go. Who was the Late Show host on that CBS program a number of years ago. I've got 5 questions. They will take you into sort of more deeper philosophical levels. It will help me to get to know you a little bit better. I'm going to evaluate your answer and decide whether you're correct or not in the end. But that's how the game goes. Are you ready to play 5 questions?
Yes, Ken, I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. Here's your first question. Is it ever okay to wear socks with sandals?
Yes.
It is.
It is.
That is incorrect. It is never appropriate to wear socks with sandals. I'm just kidding. I used to do it when I was in college, but
I saw photos.
that's because I don't have any fashion sense. All right, Brittany, you said it is okay to wear socks with sandals. I say it is not. Okay, now here's a more philosophical question. Do you think it's better to follow your passion or your practical side when choosing a career? Follow your passion or follow your practical side when choosing a career? That is correct. Explain why. I have to pinch myself every time that we get a chance to at this air show, for example. I remember, and I hate to bore you with a quick story here, but Folky isn't here, so we don't have to worry about that part. At any rate,